that I'm making. It's a conscious choice that, and trust me, I don't get it right all the time. I mean, there's definitely many days, like I said, where I'm just like, I'm in a shit mood. I'm going to be an asshole today. And okay, maybe I just shouldn't go anywhere.
Mm.
Like because there's days that you just can't, bad things happen, right? And you have to figure out how do you move forward through them without making yourself feel worse. And I always feel bad. Like if once my daughter called me out on that, I was like, that was ridiculous. Like why would I lose it over that? And so I think again, what you said before, being able to reflect upon things that you do. And I don't think I mean, I think it's more exhausting to go through the world being angry,
Yeah.
I mean, playing the other side of the card, it's just, you got to really, that takes a lot.
Does.
That takes a lot of
Training.
emotions. Yeah.
Yeah,
I think it's
training.
draining to
Yeah.
just, and then sit down at the end of the day and think, okay, that whole day just sucked. Like, I wouldn't want to do that every day.
And tomorrow's gonna suck too. Like,
Yeah.
where do you go with that? Yeah.
Yeah. So I think if you change your mindset on that, I think maybe your days wouldn't be as draining.
So let's go back to the whatever. Let's stick with the 10-year mark.
Yeah.
If Simone today is having a conversation with that Simone 10 years ago, whatever, who can't even imagine, like, what are you talking about? Gratitude, affirmations, climbing Mount, like, get the hell out of here. Is there anything like how, because this in some ways is to
Yeah.
empathize with the person listening today who's like saying those same things. What is the practical advice? What are the words to be said? What is it that you could tell that Simone from 10 years ago, whoever, that would get you to start acting in the way that you think is in your better interest?
Yeah. I would start with and I know I've said this already, but really think about what you want. Okay. We have one life. Okay. So what do you want? What do you want to accomplish? How do you want, and I even say to the kids, what do you want your tombstone to read? Like, here lies an asshole.
Mm-hmm.
Like what do you want that to look like? So, um, do you want to just be going from point A to point B, or do you want to enjoy the space in between? And for me, I realized it's enjoying that space in between. It's not about just getting through the daily routine like Groundhog Day, because there's certain days that are like that. I'm like,
Uh-huh.
I got this done. I got, 16 meetings. Okay, bedtime, get back up the next day. I'm like, oh my gosh, am I doing that again today?
Mm.
Um, so really taking a moment to say to myself, wait, you don't need to be rushing through to the next step. We do that in all aspects of our life, sending our kids to college. You got to pick what you want to do for the rest of your life right now. You're 18 years old. Pick it. Now follow it.
Mm.
We need to give ourselves room to change. We need to be able to say it's okay to make changes, that you don't have to stick to the same thing that you started in when you were 16 or 18, or, whether you go to college or not. Like, there's always that ability to say, this is not what I love. This is not what I want to do. Let me figure out what I really do want. And you kind of see that happening a lot right now with when they call it the great resignation. You see a
Mhm.
lot of people saying, what matters to me?
Mm.
Um,
Would
but
you have
yeah,
heard it, you think? Like those words? Because I think I often say this, like, words don't do things justice. They're right.
mhm,
All the words are
mm,
right. Everything you're saying is accurate. But for some reason, it's like the receptor to receive it for certain people, myself very much included at times. Again, the 10-year ago version of you, what would have been your initial reaction to that? Do you think it would have worked, or what would have been your pushback to say, like, here's where I'm
yeah,
calling bullshit?
I think I would have needed to hear it from someone else, or to have seen someone else's journey that was similar to mine that then ended up in a different place. Because, just looking back at, even when I was 16, 18, all those things where I wish I could go back in time. But you know what? I actually don't wish I could go back, because I think that every single thing that I've gone through has led me to where I am today.
Mm.
So if I didn't do certain things, I might have not married my husband. I might not have the family that I have today. So even though some of it sucked, it just is part of my journey. And they're bumps in the road. They're not huge mountains, right? They happen. You have to figure out, you have to let them be, and you have to move forward.
Mm.
So would I have given pushback if I would go back and talk to myself? Yeah, 100% going to be like, because I didn't believe in myself, right? So I'd be like, there's no way you could accomplish that. Um, but that's why I think sometimes it's important to have beyond yourself, whether it's your family or a good friend. You just need that one person that, if you can't believe in yourself, that one person that believes in you to push you forward,
Mm.
so that you can start seeing what you're capable of. So
Mm.
yeah, I would have definitely had pushback,
Mm.
but you know, maybe I would have been able to accomplish things sooner, or really,
We start the process.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah. It's funny. You make me think as you said that, and we don't have to go here. I'm not a particularly religious person, but I think for a lot of people, I mean, no disrespect by this, that's a lot of
no.
the functionality of religion and God. That's God becomes that person
Mhm.
that believes in you and that you can take that confidence in. And it gives you that push you need. And I think it's a really powerful thing. I think for a lot of people, that's important if that's where you get that source of it from. So it made me think of that as you said that. Sometimes it's people in our lives, sometimes it's some higher power or whatever it might be.
Yeah, I am not a very religious person, but I do see that with a lot of people that, especially with a lot of the speakers that I've seen or heard, I should say, really talking about how that that power that it, because they always feel loved, and that's not how I feel like that from my family and my friends. I don't really, this is obviously not a religious discussion, but I think wherever you can get that support is important. And for some people, it's religion, and some people, it's their friends and family.